Hi guys, how y'all doing? This is your girl Tisha Love, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about just basically giving you guys advice on how to obtain a mortgage and how to purchase your first house or your first condo, depending on what your preferences are. I got my condo about 4 years ago when I was 25, and there's a couple people on my Instagram that wanted to know how I went through the process, any advice I have for first-time home buyers, people who are currently looking to purchasing their first condo or their first house. So I'm not a real estate agent or a mortgage specialist, but these are tips and advice that I've experienced through purchasing my first home a couple years ago. So these are our advice based off that. I know right now with the COVID-19 and the pandemic that's going on, a lot of things has changed over time, but these are things that I've done or I went through in order to make my purchase. It's been pretty good, but it wasn't easy like obtaining it. I had to go through a lot of process, getting pre-approved from the bank, having an agent, inspection, make sure you maintain your credit and stuff like that. So that's the things I'm gonna go through in this video. If you guys do have any questions, if I've missed anything throughout this video, let me know in the comment section below and I'll gladly reply to you guys. You guys can also follow me on my social media. On Instagram, I'm on there at Tisha Love 1, and the same for Facebook as well. Just a little background on my history. So I'm a condo owner, or some of you can say a homeowner. So I'm basically paying mortgage instead of a rent. I've been living in my condo for a couple of years. This July is going to be 3 years. So I purchased it in 2017, and the difference between a condo and a house, you can say a condo is like mainly a smaller space. I'm single at the moment, so the condo space really worked for me. I don't have any kids yet as well, so that space really worked for me. The condos, they have condo fees for maintenance and stuff like that. If your condo has a gym, if we pay for security, we pay for like additional things, so that comes out of a maintenance fee every month. So in addition to a mortgage, you do have maintenance fee that you need to pay. So I did purchase a 1-bedroom and a den, but my den is big enough where I can turn it into a bedroom, which I've done. So that's just a little background of my ownership. So the first thing I'm gonna let you guys know, if you're trying to buy a condo or a house, you have to maintain a good credit score. So you can try to build a credit like over 680, and you have to maintain that over a period of time. So it can be anything over 6 months. So try to maintain a 680 credit score or more. There are so many ways if you're struggling with bad credit, or you need to just maintain your credit to a higher level. There's so many pointers that you can do. There's so many videos on YouTube with people giving you guys advice on how to keep a great credit score or how to maintain a great credit score. If you guys need any pointers on that, let me know and I'll definitely do a video and let you guys know. Also, yes, as I said, also try to keep a good credit over 6 months or more. So when you do go to the bank for a pre-approval and they do check your history with your credit, they can see that you've been maintaining that credit for a period of time. The second thing I want to talk about is about savings. So you need to have a certain amount saved up into your bank account, because if you're trying to make a first-time purchase, you need to have some sort of down payment. When I first got my place, there was like an incentive for first-time home buyers where you can maybe do 5% down, or I know in some places you can do like 3% down. So that's definitely a great advantage of being a first-time home buyer. So you can also look into that as well. It's called the first-time home buyer initiative, something like that, or incentive, something like that. So traditionally you have to come up with a 20% down payment before purchasing a house, but if it's your first time, you can go as low as 5%. So that's definitely something you guys can look into. You also need to try to increase your income. If you're not making as much money, that can mean like maybe going to your supervisor asking for a raise of some kind if you can, or you can even get a second job, or you can start a business, do a side hustle, things like that. There's so many ways that you can make extra money, so you can reach your goal a lot faster. Better paying job, second job, as I said before. And also try to figure out what your wants and your needs are. Like a new pair of shoes might not be a need for you, but food is a need, shelter is a need, you know. So you have to figure out the things that you're buying that you don't necessarily need, and nothing is too small to save, because once you set that goal for yourself, anything that you're trying to do during that process to reach it is an accomplishment. And the third point I have to let you guys know about is a pre-approval. So whenever you're going through the process of buying a home, buying a condo, whatever you choose, you have to get a pre-approval from a bank. So you basically have to book an appointment with a mortgage specialist at the bank, or some sort of manager, or whatever the case is, whichever your financial institution is. You have to sit down so they can make a proper assessment to see if you're qualified to obtain a mortgage. So they call that a pre-approval. So you can go into the bank, sit down with the representative at the bank, and then they can go throughout your job, how long you've been at the job, how much you're making, how much your savings, if you do have savings in the bank, and also they also check your credit rating to see how well you are at paying back your debts. So that process you have to go through, because most people don't have all the money to pay for a house or condo. So you definitely have to have a relationship with the bank and basically be a person that would be a great fit for them to take on a mortgage for you. Have a good relationship with the bank, so make sure you have some sort of bank account with them, or maybe you might have credit card and they might see that you're paying off your credit card early and on time, and your utilization is very low. If you do take out a loan with the bank, it's the same thing as well. So try to build a relationship with the bank and keep good habits with the bank, so when it comes time for you to obtain a mortgage or get your first mortgage, then when they look up your profile, it will be presentable. The fourth thing I want you guys to look into is mortgage brokers. So another alternative to the bank is, some people would rather go to a mortgage broker because they are more flexible in that regard, and I think their rates are a little bit lower than the traditional banks. So that's one thing you can look into. Let's say, for example, you go to the bank and the bank don't necessarily want to take on the mortgage for you. There's other option. You can go to a mortgage brokers, and you can see what your options are with them. And as I said, they're a lot more flexible than the traditional banks. The fifth thing that you need to look into is have more money than your down payment. So I know a lot of you guys, it depends on your situation, might want to do the 20% down payment, or you might want to do the 5% down payment, depending on your situation. Whatever the case is, always try not to have the exact amount of money for your down payment and that's it. always try to have more money, because at the end of the day, even if you get approved for approved from the bank and you go to see different places and stuff like that, there's still rates and fees that you need to consider that might come up in the future. So say for example, if you do get a condo or house, there has to be an inspection on that place, and that's an additional charge. You also need there's also lawyer fees that you need to consider as well, because you have to get a lawyer involved to sign over the paperwork, to make sure that all the paperwork is correct, and make sure that they represent you in case there's any type of anything that you do not like in the future. So you do have to have money for lawyer fees and stuff like that. So that's just another pointer for you to recognize. Don't save up just the money for your down payment. Always have extras, because there's extra fees that do come up after you get the pre-approval. Also, you can look into getting a real estate agent. Do your research on this one specifically, because there's a lot of real estate agents out there who just want a quick sell. They don't necessarily want to get to know you, to feel your vibe, to figure out what you really like from what you don't like. If you meet a real estate agent and they're not trying to get to know you and feel your personality and feel what type of house or what type of condo you're looking for, they're not necessarily the person that you should, you know, be spending most of your time to. Because mind you, a real estate agent is the one that's going to take you from house to house or condo to condo, so you can look at different places. So you want to make sure that you're feeling out this person, you're comfortable with this person, and you can also get personal with this person, because this is a home, and a home is very personal. So you have to make sure that you do your research on real estate agent. Make sure they're trustworthy. Make sure they have a great reputation. Reputation is so important because it keeps them accountable. The history of their work. Do other people talk about them? What do other people say? Their reviews, word of mouth. What do you hear? As I said before, are they friendly? Are they warm? Are they smiling when they greet you? You know, just these little things. It's simple, but it goes a long way. Do they show interest in what you want? Say for example, if you're looking for a condo, you want a balcony. Not all condos come with a balcony. Are you looking for a certain type of flooring? Do you want stainless steel? So things like that. Or you might want to have the penthouse. So, you know, make sure that, you know, these things are told, you know, and try not to feel pressured to make a sale in case they're rushing you to do that, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to stuck with the mortgage for 25 plus years. So you have to make sure that this is something that you want at the end of the day. The other tip I have for you guys is to be prepared and look at a lot of places. Like I said before, don't feel pressure to make a decision just like that. Try to take your time. Know that it's a process. Don't take too long though, because I've heard horror stories where some people, they take years before they even make a final decision. But try to be diligent. Try to take your time. Try to enjoy the process. But don't feel rushed by anybody. Look at location. Take your time looking at location. It's so important. Convenience is so important. Look at prices. What's within your price range that you're looking for. Don't take up something that's good. You're gonna still live paycheck to paycheck. You know, when I pay this mortgage, am I gonna have a little wiggle room in my budget where I can pay for my other expenses? So things like that you need to look into. Transportation. Am I close to the TTC? Am I close to the subway? You know, is it easy accessible to get to a hospital, a grocery store? So things like that that you have to consider. Ask questions. That's the other point I want to emphasize so much. You have to remember that when you're looking for a house or condo, this is a really big purchase. So I want you guys to ask the relevant questions that you do need. No question is stupid. There's no such thing as a stupid answer, because as I said, you're the one that's going to be stuck with a mortgage payment and all that stuff. So make sure you do not leave, you know, and you're still like iffy about certain things, like, oh my god, I should have asked him this, or oh my god, I should have asked her that. Make sure you, even if you don't remember, the moment you remember, write it down. Write it down, so the next time you know you're looking at a place with your agent, ask them, right? So because I know that happens all the time, and a lot of questions leave unanswered, and people like regret their purchases. Because come on guys, like, you have to open your mouth. Closed mouth do not get fed, you know. And you have to be diligent. You have to do your homework and make sure that you answer every question that you do have. I also wanted to mention that during the process, before you purchase, try to attend any webinars or any type of classes that they do have about learning about real estate investing, purchasing your first home, having renters, things like that. Like, try to get as much education as you can. Even watching YouTube videos, there's so many YouTube videos on here that gives you guys tips and pointers on real estate. So you should not be ignorant about these things, but try to educate, try to ask questions in that regard. You can follow social media on real estate. There's a lot of real estate pages that offer great insights. I know for me, the one person that I usually love before I purchased my home was this guy. His name is Jay Morrison. He's on Jay Morrison on Instagram, so you guys can definitely check him out. If you guys need me to put down his information on Instagram, I can definitely do that. So, but he has a great resource for people who are trying to get up the ladder when it comes to real estate investing and stuff like that. Also, don't be afraid to invest your money into classes. The greatest investment you can make is yourself. I personally do believe that, but a lot of people are stubborn, and a lot of people don't want to spend money on their education. But if real estate is something that you need to do and you don't really understand the nits and gritty and all that, I personally recommend invest in a class, like attend webinars are great as well. So I hope these pointers really help you guys. And these were the tips that I used for myself to make sure that my process was successful. And so far, it's been a great process so far. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys do have any additional questions, let me know and I'll gladly answer them for you. Once again, follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Tisha Love One. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on my next video.